when we are talking about entering a user ID and password and clicking on a button, that is something that an end user is seeing, right? But if you talk about technicalities, there is something involved called information sharing between the two parties, the identity provider and the service provider. So the service provider will have to enter some information that identity provider will provide about their user IDs and the user information, which would be very limited. And then they will give some kind of URLs where it would be redirected once the authentication is done. So an example, you may say that if you log in through your registration process with your registration user ID and password, and you want to enter the virtual conferencing platform, so your registration site would provide some information to the virtual conferencing platform about its users, right? So that, I think this diagram typically explains that process. So you fill in your login credentials, and then at the back end, what happens is as soon as you enter the virtual conferencing platforms and you say, I want to register or I want to log in into the virtual conferencing platform. So what it does is it actually passes some information to your authentication or the identity provider site, which validates that information and passes that, yes, this user is authenticated and you are able to log in into the virtual conferencing platform. So everything at the front end is seamless, but there is a bit of information exchange that has to be done at the back end, which is not so tough, and the implementation is not at all difficult. It's just some settings that have to be done, both the ends.